Hi, this is MIcornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. We are dealing with part five of this great topic. We speak about some health tips and habits that no school can teach you. This you can never learn from school because these are just basically experience of life. We thought we should actually share this with our young men because on this platform we are developing ordinary young men into extraordinary men of wisdom, integrity, and character. And I believe this you will learn more because we do this through kingdom principles. And as we deal with these health habits that school may not teach you, today I want to just start by saying regular health checkups are a business strategy. Regular health checkups are a business strategy. So you know that the CEO who ignores health maintenance is running a company on borrowed time. And most of the time we are actually doing all these things that we do. We want to be fruitful, we want to be impactful, we want to be successful in life, but we forget our health. And I want to say that regular health checks are business strategy. You basically checking your life, making sure that you get a diagnosis much more earlier. You realize if something is wrong much earlier. And early diagnosis actually brings about a better treatment and a quicker treatment as well. And we want to emphasize that. Now, checkups are things that we don't often do, but I want to emphasize that it's very important that we check ourselves, blood pressures, sugar levels, and so on, and then general health, so that we can be able to know actually that we're still healthy. Sometimes you think you're healthy and you're not because you haven't actually done a checkup. And majority of us, we actually wait until we are sick and to a level that we cannot reverse that health scare, mainly because we have actually been sick for a long time and we're not aware. So this is very important that we do health checkups. So preventative care is due diligence on your most important asset, which is the body. And we have said that prevention is better than cure. So therefore, it's very important that we do prevent health scares or diseases to get worse until we discover them. So therefore, it's very important that we do check ourselves and make sure that we are healthy and we are well without actually making ourselves to become worse before we check ourselves. So health checks, very, very important. Now, I want to also say eating alone at the desk is not a lifestyle. It is a warning sign. So it's very important that you understand that meals taken in stillness, without screens, without attention, this is how the body actually registers satisfaction. And sometimes you need just to really have your meals alone where you are actually while reflecting. So eat mindlessly and the body never feels full. And that's the reason why at the end of the day it's very important that we said earlier that you need to eat healthy, but also you need to be mindful about your eating. So therefore, we always emphasize as well, take a good breakfast, make sure that you don't skip it, and also make sure that you frequently eat some small chunk of food, not a lot at one go, but make sure that chew properly as well. And that is habits that can just make you to really eat healthy. So it is very important that we mention things like that. They look minor, but how key are those? Very, very important and very key as well. So your weight is not a vanity metric. It is a health signal. So not to be obsessed over, because most of the time we are so obsessed about weight, but I want to emphasize that it is not just obsession. Sometimes it's very important to see it as a signal because sometimes you really becoming obese and you aware that your weight is actually getting out of hand. So that's very important that you actually look at it and make sure that you keep it in check while it's still early as well. So not to be obsessed over, but to pay honest attention to it. So this is very important that you see whether you're losing too much weight as well, gaining too much weight. Those are type of signs that might be speaking something. And therefore you need to check that, because sometimes you gain too much weight because of you are sick, and then sometimes you lose too much weight as well because you are sick as well. So please don't ignore the weight fluctuation, particularly when it's drastic, particularly when it's actually more quicker, either to drop or to increase. So all that is just a sign that you need to check yourself and make sure that the body is okay. Now, the body communicates through its condition. And I must really say that most of the time we realize a bit too late, and we've said in the previous lesson as well, that check your body. If there's a pain somewhere, don't ignore it. If there's something that is showing up that is not normal, that's not actually something that you're used to, make check of it. Sometimes it's just an excessive sweating actually out of the blue, and you have not been like that before. So don't take it for granted. And sometimes you find that it's not because of adverse weather, it's not because it's too hot, but you're having these hot flashes over you that you've never had in your body. So that is a sign that you need to check off that. Because as I said, the body communicates through its condition. So whatever happens to your body, don't ignore it, because majority of us, we ignore it. Consistent headaches as well, because sometimes we have these headaches, we ignore them, take a tablet there, but it doesn't help. And you find that it's continual. And as continual as it is, we ignore it and say, no, it's just a minor headache, only to find that later when you discover it's something much more bigger than that, but you never actually take it to cognizance. I want to emphasize that your body communicates through its condition. So learn to listen without judgment or avoidance, because sometimes also the problem is, even though we are actually cognizant of some untoward activity of the body, sometimes we judge it harshly, to an extent that when you have a headache, you already rush to say, what if I'm having a brain tumor? And that's obsession sometimes, and that's something that's abnormal as well, because you're looking it to the extreme, and it's unnecessary to do so, because you cause yourself a stress that is not necessary. And you may actually find yourself causing yourself more harm and becoming more sick because of misdiagnosis to the extreme sometimes. And sometimes also it is an issue of ignorance as well, and undermining what you feel. Now, the balance between the two should be done in your life, and you must be conscious that you cannot undermine what you feel, but also you cannot extremely exaggerate it as well. Because when you exaggerate it, it causes you stress that you otherwise did not have. So that's very important that you balance the two. So build health rituals, not health goals only. So 3 deep breaths before any high stakes, very key. I've mentioned this earlier, that it might be sounding like a ritual every day before high stakes, but I've said that oxygenation is very important to the brain. It's very important to the tissues in the body as well. So 3 deep breaths, very deep, before any high stakes moment, very important. Sometimes you need 5 minutes of controlled breathing daily. I've said that a bit earlier as well. So, but that's something that is just like a ritual that you do, but it may actually go a long way in making your body healthy, because that's very important to oxygenate your tissues in the body. Now, this single habit reduces cortisol and sharpens focus measurably, as I want to just mention that. It's very important that we do actually take care of minor things like, as I said, breathing. It may look like minor, but it's really very key that we understand that breathing is just something that you cannot just take lightly. So very, very important that you do that, sometimes just as a ritual, something that you normally don't do, but you need to do it basically just to develop some health habits in your life, as we're speaking about health habits here. Now, the body you live in at 60 is a result of decisions made at 30. So this is something that's very key, because when you make a decision earlier at the age of 20, the very same body that you live in at the age of 40 is the same that depends on the decisions that you made at 20. When you are 30, you make decisions. The body that you live in at 60 is the same body that you make decisions about at the age of 30. And it's an amazing formula that we may actually just think lightly about. But yes, when you decide to exercise early, your body will show up at the age later. And that is why some of the people at 60, they're still looking very younger. And some are they're looking a bit more older. And that's the difference, because those decisions were made much more earlier in your life. And then they determine the body that you live in 30 years later. I mean, that's quite amazing. Start now, not postpone, because most of the time we contemplate on doing things. And therefore we postpone, we say we'll do this tomorrow. No, if you have to exercise, exercise now. If you have to take those deep breaths that we spoke about, you need to do it now. Whatever decision that you do about your health, do it now. Don't do it tomorrow, because the very same decision is going to bear results for you very soon. Not because it is not too late if you are older, but it is very important that you do it now, because that's an investment that builds up to the body that you will live in slightly later. It never is, but because every year you wait is a year of compound interest you don't collect. So therefore you basically miss out time, and to catch up later then becomes very, very difficult to do. And these are very, very important things that the things that I want to emphasize, that when you do life, you must actually do it with consciousness. But health should be that investment that you invest in. Take care of your body. It is only place you have to live in, and it's the only resource that you have for you to be successful in life, for you to progress and do better things. It is actually the only resource that you have. Apply one law this week, just one. The compounding starts the moment you do. It might be just a small habit that you do, but we want to emphasize that you need to do it right now. So drop the number below and make sure that the number of your calculations in life in life is more towards focus on your health. Calculate years based on your health. Calculate money based on your health. So therefore, make sure that your health then becomes the center of anything that you do. Let's build our lives. Let's build the communities. And let's take this seriously. And I want to urge you as a young man that please invest in your body, invest in your mind. The health of your body and the health of your mind, very, very key for you. And your life shall never be the same if you act into that. I want to end up here today. Your host, MIcornus, Phokane, the founder and the leader of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. On this platform, we're developing ordinary young men into extraordinary men of wisdom, integrity, and character, and we do this through kingdom principles. And I hope that you learn out of this. I hope that you'll follow us on our social media platforms, our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and my personal Facebook page, MIcornus Phokane. So please like and follow us on those platforms. And don't forget also to follow us on TikTok, MIcornus Phokane, and Instagram, MIcornus Phokane. Don't forget our YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum. So please subscribe to the YouTube channel, Young Men Empowerment Forum, and click notification button as well. And we believe strongly that you will also share these platforms with your loved ones, your family, your friends. It could be your colleagues as well. They might actually gain out of this as well. And I believe that you will share that, and you'll urge them to share with others as well, and the good Lord will bless them as they do. Until we meet again with another topic, allow us to check out right here and say cheers for now.